Hey guys, it is Nancy. And you know what they say, a millionth time is a charm? Perhaps, hopefully. I have tried to go live several times today. Many of you may have noticed. Hopefully, you didn't, and this is your first time catching me, but I've gone through a lot of troubleshooting because I really want to show you guys this video. It's something that I get asked a lot, and it's something that I know a lot of you guys want to learn how to do. So today I'm going to show you how to set up score lines in Silhouette Studio as well as Cricut Design Space. I give out for my VIP members. I design a lot of boxes, a lot of cards, and things that include score lines. And so I really want to show you guys how to set these up so that you can easily get scores just like this. And so the reason that it's this has been crashing a lot because I have my screen sharing set up. I've got a couple of cameras, so I hope that you guys are with me. I hope that you guys can see and hear me right now. Hopefully nothing is frozen. I had to do a whole system update earlier, and I decided to just go have lunch and then come back and try it again. And so hopefully this is working. So I can't see your comments right now, but I will definitely go back and read them. So if you are with me, will you tell me hello and tell me where you're watching from? And let me know. Have you ever tried using score lines? Is it something that you struggle with? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you could see what I'm working on. All right, so this is, like I said, I'm going to show you guys in both Silhouette Studio as well as Cricut Design Space. So if you are a Cricut user, hang tight for just a couple minutes, or if you're watching the replay of this, go ahead and fast forward to the Cricut part. But right now I'm going to show the Silhouette users first, because I find that it's a little less straightforward with Silhouette Studio. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how this is done. Let's see. How do I, all right, I was going to try to keep my, my little face in the circle, but anyways, I can't figure that out right now. All right, so we're just going to show the screen. All right, so here is my screen. I have all these cute little favor boxes. This is one of my VIP files. And so what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I can see by the box that these are all grouped together because if I move one thing, they're all going to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to go to ungroup, and that just allows me to be able to click on the individual pieces. I'm only going to work with this one down here in the lower right hand corner just for the sake of speed, because I don't want any intricate cuts right now. So I'm just deleting everything else. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the upper left hand corner, and I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to just hover my cursor over the lower right hand corner of my box here, and you can see that it changes to a double-sided arrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pull. I want to increase the size to about 11 inches here, because I've got a sheet of 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And so that's the size that I want it to be. All right, so now a couple things that you're going to notice. Well, the main thing that you're going to notice is that we have some red lines over here. Now, if I did nothing, then what would happen is it would just cut everything. And that is not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to create score lines. Like I said, I'm gonna switch back over here. Like I said, I want to create score lines like I have in this box that I'm showing you guys right here, because that just is going to make it so much easier to fold a box or fold a card. Like I said, this is just an example. This technique that I'm going to show you is going to work with any file that has score lines in it. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to convert these red lines so that they are not cut lines, that they are score lines. All right, so right now I can't click on any specific thing, so I need to ungroup this further. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to ungroup one more time. And now I would be able to either click on the background, which is white, or click on these lines over here. So I've got the lines selected. I'm going to go up to my menu, and at the very top you can see that there is a panels menu, and then I'm going to select line style. Okay, so over here on the right hand side you can see that there is this menu, this panel right over here. Let me just drag it a little bit closer so you can see. And then I'm going to click on these colors right over here. All right, so it shows me some recently used colors. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on a color right now, just to make sure that it's selected as something. I want to make sure that these colors, like I said, are changed to a very specific color that's really obvious for me. It doesn't matter if it's blue or whatever. Oops. I don't want to worry about that background. So the background is white, and we're just going to leave it as is, but what we want to do is we want to modify the red. And it can be a little tricky to ensure that you have the right thing selected. So you can tell that this is selected because the box is surrounding the score line. So I've chosen red. It doesn't really matter. I could choose purple. I could choose green. It doesn't matter. So let's go back to red. Okay, so it's red. Now that's it. That's all I need to do. I'm going to go ahead and go to the send. That's actually not all I need to do. I lied. There's a little bit more. Okay, so I'm in the send screen right now. Like I said, Cricut users, hang tight for just a little bit longer while I show the Silhouette users how to set this up. So here we go. This is the famous send screen. This all probably looks familiar to you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to where it says line. Okay, so here I've clicked on where it says line, and you can see that I have these two line items over here. The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that they're both checked. Right now, only one of them is checked. I want them both to be checked. Okay. And then what I also want to do is over here where it says action, I want to change the action of that red line that I selected earlier. I'm going to change that by clicking the drop down. I'm going to click score. Okay, now there's still a little bit more that needs to be done. I need to change the material. So like I said, so this top line over here is referring to the background layer. And this second line over here, that says RGB, it's this red one right over here. And it's giving me the color value of that red color. That is referring to the score lines. Okay. So now with Silhouette, I'm going to show you guys something. With Silhouette, the score line, so with, if you were using like a Cricut, you would be using a scoring tool. Like either a scoring blade if you have a Cricut Maker, or a scoring tool like this, which basically is just it's kind of like, it kind of feels like a ballpoint pen with no ink. And you would put it inside of your machine, and it's going to press down and compress the fibers of the paper. And that is what is creating the score. This is for, like I said, this is for Cricut. With Silhouette, it doesn't do that. All it does is it's actually using the blade to score the paper halfway through. And so it's actually really nice. I actually do like the way that the Silhouette does it. But like I said, it can be a little bit trickier to set it up. Okay, so I'm back on my screen over here. There's a couple more steps that need to be done. So like I said, I changed the red line to say score. And then I just want to make sure that the material for the top, I'm going to change the material for the actual, sorry, it's the top layer over here, but it's actually the bottom layer on the page, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm going to change that to textured heavy 80 pound. This is for the cut, the part that's going to be cut. Now for the part that's going to score, I found that I want to keep it pretty light, cardstock plain. Otherwise it's just going to cut all the way through. And then there's one more thing that I need to do. And then that is this. While this is selected, this RGB 173.31, it may not say that specific color depending on what line color you've checked, but basically it's the red one. You have this selected, and then you scroll down over here and you can see, like I said, it's got the action, which is score, and then you want to change the force down to just 1. Otherwise, it's just going to cut all the way through the paper. I have found in my testing that is what has happened to me. So just to recap what we did, you want to make sure that both of these are checked, these check boxes over here. I hope you guys can see my cursor. I know it's a little bit small. Both of these are checked. You want to change the material of the cut layer to whatever material you're using. I'm using a textured 80 pound. You want to keep the action as cut. Then for the score line, which is going to be the second line over here, you want to keep it as cardstock plain. Change the action to score, and then you want to change the force to 1. All right, so let me switch over to my my Silhouette machine over here, and I'm gonna show you guys. So I've got my light grip cutting mat. I've got a sheet of 8.5 by 11 here. I'm going to place my cutting mat in between these two blue lines, and I'm gonna go ahead and load this. Okay, back on my computer, I'm gonna go ahead and hit send. Okay, and that is going to start the cut. It's gonna take a little while. So we're gonna let it do its thing. While it's doing that, I'm gonna come on here. I need to make sure that, all right, cool. All right, I just want to make sure that I'm actually live, that you guys are seeing this, which is great. All right, fantastic. So it is cutting on my Silhouette right behind me. While it's cutting on my Silhouette, I am going to go to my Cricut Design Space. I'm going to show my Cricut friends how we set this up. So give me a second. All right. So, okay, so here I am on Cricut Design Space. I actually had this open earlier, but let me go ahead and upload this project. Oh, it's already uploaded. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my canvas. And for some reason, some of these things are ungrouped, but just ignore that. I'll have to fix that later. So what you wanna do is you wanna right click and ungroup. And that way I can go through and I can just delete all the layers and the parts that I'm not going to be cutting. Sorry for the my loud silhouette in the back. This most likely got ungrouped from this one. So if that ever happens, all you have to do is just move it, and then you could just right click and group it back again. But I don't need that one. I only need this one. All right, so I'm gonna move it to the upper left-hand corner, and then I'm gonna pull on this double arrow here in the lower right-hand corner. I'm gonna pull it until it is the size that I want, which is close to 11 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to right-click and ungroup, or you can also go up here to the upper right-hand corner, and you can click ungroup. Okay, guys, I can't even hear myself think. So let's just redirect our attention to my beautiful silhouette. There it is. It's finishing up. Okay, is it done? I think it's done. Hallelujah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unload, and we can see, ta-da! Okay, so it has cut the outside lines, and the inside lines that we set to score have been scored. Isn't that beautiful? Yay! It worked. So that's how to do it for silhouette. I'm going to continue showing my Cricut friends how to set up the score lines for the Cricut. All right, get everything out of the way there, and I'm going to pull out my Cricut Maker here. So I've got my Cricut Maker. This works with the Cricut Explore as well. And for the Cricut Maker, or for the Cricut Maker, you can also use this, which is what I'm going to be using today, because you can use this with the Cricut Explore as well. This is it's a scoring tool, okay? You can also use a scoring blade. It's the exact same method. It's just you'll want to switch out. You're just going to need to switch out your fine point blade. You're going to put in your scoring wheel. You have to tell your machine. Okay, I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. I can save that for another tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm just going to show you guys how to use a scoring tool, since that is a little bit more universal and more users are going to benefit from that. So with the scoring tool, you're going to put it in your left slot. And you see this little arrow right here. You're going to go ahead and just give that a little push and then close it. I'm also going to turn on my machine there. Is it on? Nope, it's not plugged in. Hold on. Hang on. There we go. Okay, friends. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm back at my Cricut Design Space. Okay, so all we've done so far, we haven't done anything really yet except for just get this on the screen. So what we're going to do now is we are going to select all of the score lines. Now you can see over on the right hand side, on the layers side, I actually already have all of the score lines selected. And the the way that you can tell is if I were to just turn off this little eyeball here, you can see that they all disappeared. And so I'm going to turn them back on and just click on that grouping right there. It's got all of them selected, okay? Now I'm going to go over here to where it says operation in the upper left-hand corner and change it from basic cut to score. And so it just changed all of those to little dashed lines to indicate that it is not cutting, but it is going to be scoring. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag over this whole entire thing, and then I am going to click on the attach button, which is that paper clip in the lower right hand corner of my screen. Okay, perfect. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and hit, let me actually make sure that I've got my Cricut Maker selected, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit Make It. All right, on this screen, everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and continue. And so it's trying to connect to my Maker right now. And then I'm going to select medium cardstock. And so here, because I'm using my Cricut Maker, it automatically thinks that I'm going to be using a scoring wheel, which I am not doing. So if you are using your scoring wheel, go ahead and switch out your blade to your scoring wheel. If you're not, go ahead and hit Edit Tools and then switch it to the scoring stylus and then hit Apply. Perfect. All right. Back at my Cricut machine. I've got my paper on my light grip mat. I'm going to go ahead and place it underneath these little notches right here, and then I'm going to push the load button. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on the Cricut C. And it's going to first do the scoring. So you'll see that this tool is going to start working over here. And it's going to go through and it's going to do all of the scoring. And let me just make sure I have it low enough. Yeah. So I can see, it's hard to see, I know for you guys, but I can see that it is pressing down and it is creating those score lines. All right, so while it's doing that, I'm just gonna come and say hi to you guys. Try to see if there are any comments that I can read. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know that it can be intimidating if you're not really sure how to set up the score lines, but like I said, I just showed you guys how to do this with this file here, but this works for any file that has score lines. Like I said, just go ahead and convert the score line, or go ahead and convert the lines to score lines. Either with your Cricut or your Silhouette, because if you don't do that, it's going to end up cutting through the whole thing, and then you've just wasted paper and time and, you know, frustration. So anyway, I'm going to let this finish cutting so that I could show this to you guys. But like I said, I hope that was helpful. If there are any other tutorials that you guys want to request from me, put them in the comments, please. I would love to see what you guys would find helpful, what you might be struggling with either your Cricut or your Silhouette. The machines are a lot more similar than you guys probably realize. So I would be happy to show you guys how to do that. I think this is almost finished here. So it's doing the cutting right now. All right, so here it is. And looks good. It's got the score lines, and that's it. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. I'm not sure if I'm frozen on this screen. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. And like I said, if you have any other questions or requests or anything like that, let me know. I would love to know. I will go back and read your guys' comments. And yeah, that's it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.